social banking from GT Bank. Anywhere, anytime, any device.
The second goal of the tournament. And the moment that
Nigeria were beaten in the final in 1984, 88 and 90, but not this one. Nigeria are the new champions of Africa.
When they say we're not going to South Africa to defend a title won, everybody thought it was a huge joke. At the end of the day, it was no joke. The Nations Cup came, played, and Nigeria was absent. What was it? There were so many different stories about betrayal of trust from Nelson Mandela, Sani Abacha not wanting the boys to use the Nations Cup as a political platform to express disgust at the dictatorship. There were those who even benefited from it in terms of how they were managing the relationship. But how many people had access to the late president? It was a difficult one, but then it affected our football. Just like the Olympics of Montreal, where we had some outstanding talents who will have brought Nigeria's first ever gold medal from the Olympics. That boycott denied us that opportunity. And so the boycott of the Nations Cup also denied Nigeria opportunity to defend the Nations Cup. And it was just a big collateral damage, not only to football minds, but also the football chroniclers and politicians. Because the players had nothing to do with it. They had nothing to do with politics.
Suddenly there was this problem between South Africa and Nigeria. You know, for whatever reason, I've not understood insults or whatever, and then somebody believes that we should not go to South Africa and play. That if we go to South Africa, we're going to glorify the South African because they needed the defending champion to be there, to be present. That pulling Nigeria out of South Africa would diminish the quality of the competition.
The excommunication of Nigeria from the African football fraternity meant that one question would remain unanswered. How successful could this team have been?
We were still training. We were training. We were ready. You know, we were ready for it. We had just injected some new players in, like Baba Yaro, Taribo West, and all that. Not too much. You know, had a solid team. We were very sure we were going to defend it, and thinking that our late president would change his mind, but you know, he didn't. At the end of the day, he asked us to come to Abuja, so they took us from the hotel here. We were training every day. From the hotel here, we went to the airport, we flew to Abuja, we went to Aso Rock, we were there seated, and he told us by himself. We thought it was rumor, but it was real. So when he told us, it was like, that's it, my children, you are not going, your safety first, and all that. We saluted his courage, and we took it in good faith, though we were still hurt a little bit because this is the job and this is what we want to do. It's passion. It's like when your dad or your parents tell you, know, you're not going somewhere. You can't force it, so we couldn't force it.
When the debris had settled from the clash of political egos between Nigeria and South Africa, Nigeria returned to the Nations Cup in 2000, this time as a co-host alongside Ghana.
Nigeria missed 1996 in South Africa. They were ordered to pull out by the former military dictator, and then they were subsequently banned from the tournament in Burkina Faso in 1998. So this is their first appearance in 6 years in this tournament.
Everybody thought it wasn't possible. Not football. If there was anything anybody could avoid, is not taking football headlong and saying Nigeria's only symbol of unity in terms of appreciation could be so distorted in how we got to that stage. But it was all part of politics.
Here comes Tunisia. And the glancing header is in, it's an equaliser. And it's the substitute, Azayez. What an inspired change it is by the Tunisian coach, Scoglio, at half-time.
I never expected that Nigeria would go 19 years without being able to achieve anything. But this is possible. This is possible. In modern football, you must develop people to bring them to a level where they can compete. You know, they can contend, or should I use the word compete, for the maximum, not just participating. For 19 years we went, we tried, we participated, did so many things, but it wasn't enough for us to win. And on few occasions we qualified for the finals. Yes, we lost. We stopped at the semi-finals when we thought we had the best team.
And it was very close. Oh, what's happened here? It is a gift for Egypt. What a piece, and Nigeria have shot themselves in the foot just seconds before that.
I mean, if you have a coach who is doing well, progressively doing well, why would you fire such a coach? But because we're not doing well, you kept on experimenting. And don't forget that even the process of hiring and firing coaches in this country was not neat. There were those who believed that those in the helm of affairs will go and get a journeyman just because of what they could benefit from that person. If Paul Bassey will now go and get a coach because, look, my friend, look, let's take this man, he will surrender. Well, it's the reality, we cannot run away from it. He's ready to take $15,000. We put $30,000 in the books, just give him 15 and he goes away. You do not take the interest of the country at heart.
It's not only peculiar to Nigeria alone. You understand me? It's everywhere, all over South America, Asia, most of the continents, India and all these places. It's not only in Nigeria, it's everywhere all over the world. But the problem is that when we take strides to curb those things, it becomes a lot better. And this comes out of survival. When you're talking about that continent, they're not saying that continent because we are blacks. They're saying that continent because things are not working out fine.
And now there are quite a few Ghanaian players moving forward. And now, Suleiman
There were really no doubt dashed hopes. The Eagles could no longer land effectively in Africa, on African soil. They were more like at home. Can you imagine an eagle crawling, not moving? It's a bird of prey, agility, and then you deny that bird movement, so you virtually cripple the bird. And so he had it all. South Africa, Burkina Faso were absent 4 years, and during that period, talents couldn't really find where to express themselves, and so the damage was done. It's surprising nobody has done an evaluation of what we missed those 2 years. But again, for me, if you ask, I say the Nations Cup, what is involved? How much money is there winning the Nations Cup? Chicken feed. So winning the trophy, except you can market the trophy itself, what money comes to the team that wins the Nations Cup? Beyond the glory line. And there was no point to prove anymore. It was the second time we were winning the Nations Cup. We had won it at home, we had won it away. So the novelty was out of it. It was a case of pride and prestige.
In their opening game against Morocco, we'll see that nothing will stop Nigeria. Samuel Eto'o, first goal of the tournament. What a time to score it. The Cameroon ahead.
Sometimes we attempted to hire top-class coaches as it were. We don't also look at the chemistry of such coaches. Have they coached in Africa before? The mentality of African players, are they familiar with it? Do they know how to deal with it? Wherever the man was, did he coach a team that had some African players? So it didn't work for us because we didn't sit down and plan what to do. We just jumped into a plane, go abroad, go and bring this coach, or this is the way to do it. So a lot of mistakes were done in the past, and so we kept on hiring and firing, hiring and firing.
Inviting the run from Mohamed Zidane up against Nwaneri. This could be danger for Nigeria. Zidane, right, it's time. Oh, it's got it. The ball took a deflection, but it was a very good strike from Ahmed Hassan.
The next tournament in 2002 would see the Super Eagles finish with a bronze medal. And in 2004, and in 2006. Sure, the results didn't look so bad, but the performances of the team didn't exactly excite everyone. Once upon a time, the Super Eagles were skillful, speedy, frightening even. Now in their place were a bunch of sluggish, boring, and predictable players. What went wrong?
That the generation started from 2000, okay? And then it got to the peak in 2012 rather, when we didn't qualify at all for the Nations Cup. And for a team that had been so consistent, getting to the semi-finals, getting to the final over a period of about 2 decades, for you not to qualify at all, I think that was the peak of it. I think the lessons to be learned from that period is that we have to be patient with our coaches, because if you look at the period between 2000 and 2012, I think it will be an average of a coach per year for the Super Eagles. Okay? We had Shaibu Amadou come in, we had Joe Bonfrey 2000, Shaibu Amadou come in, Austin Eguavoen, Christian Chukwu, Amadou made a comeback, Betty Vos came, Ty Libret, all sorts of people were coming and going. How do you build a team that way? Okay, I mean, we just said that the team that won in '94 was born 5 years before that. Okay, so I think the biggest lesson that we should take from that interregnum, okay, when we didn't make much impact in Africa, was look, the turnaround of coaches was too high for us to build any formidable team and for us to be able to compete for anything. Egypt, that won 3 Nations Cup within that period, had the same coach throughout the 6 years. So I hope going forward, that's one lesson we will have learned. That it's not all the time that you lose that you need to disband the team or sack the coach. You have to really assess the reasons why you lost, and then you build again from there. You don't just bring the whole house down and then you start building again. Like somebody said, for how long are you going to rebuild? So I hope we've learned that lesson, and going forward, even when we lose occasionally, you can't win all the time. We will learn the lesson and then keep the team. Once the coach, you could see that, okay, everything considered, he didn't do too badly, give him another chance, and he might do better the next time.
Yeah, well, I think when you look at it, and you'll pick bit and pieces, what contributed, and first, I think the key word is being patriotic. The passion, the love wasn't there. The love of the game, the love, from individual players was not there. So I think it contributed a lot, and disrespect of players to managers, was there. Administrative-wise, bringing the wrong coaches to coach the team, that doesn't know jack about, African football, that they just scavengers looking for where to milk money, and they come and they milk and they go. Everybody has his own portion, why things didn't go well. And that's life, it happens, but at the same time, if it happens, you have to learn and correct it. But if you don't, then you got hit.
Soon, the fans, once adoring and affectionate, quickly lost interest. Before long, the press and corporate Nigeria followed. And
you can trust the fans. The fans are fair weather friends, although it shouldn't be so in the case of your national team. You should stick to your national team no matter what. But Nigerian fans are fair weather. I remember when the Eagles were really, really down, they started calling them Papa Eagles. When we went to Ghana, we didn't get to the semi-finals, they called them the Super Chickens, and stuff like that. So you could say maybe the fans were not very, very supportive, during those difficult periods. But can you blame them? They invest their passion in the team, and they want the team to rise up to the occasion all the time, you know. So it's not really a problem of the fans. Rather, I think sometimes it's the problem of the media, because the media is supposed to know, you know, better than the fans. You know, that you need time to build teams, you need time to do this, you need time to... But sometimes the media too join the fans, you know, in blasting the players. Oh, they should have done that, they should have done that, you know. So, but I think along the line, the media started also learning their lessons.
Ghana 2008 offered an opportunity to turn things around, but things were only going to get worse. The Super Eagles were bundled by Ghana in the quarterfinals, making it one of Nigeria's worst performances at the Nations Cup tournament. 2010 resulted in another bronze medal. Now, once upon a time, a bronze medal would have been a disappointment. But this time, it encouraged a few optimists to believe things were getting back on track.
Again, you ask your question, during that 19 years, what happened? How close were we? I've told you what appeared to be Waterloo consistently in the Nations Cup, how to cross the semi-finals. Check the Nations Cup succession from even 2000 to 2014. Where do we get in the Nations Cup? We are so close. Bronze. Can you count even the bronze medals we won? That tells you that we were getting close. So what was the problem? Finishing. And finishing is not just a problem about finishing and winning the cup. Even in our game, our play, finishing has always been a weakness. How do we manage the last 15 minutes of any game? It has been a Nigerian problem over time. I was talking with some of my older colleagues. I said those days, what used to be the problem? How do we finish a game? Because we have never known how to finish a game conveniently.
Musi, Roberto Baggio has equalised! Minute and 45 seconds left of the 90, and finally Roberto Baggio delivers. It was Musi who'd come forward.
World Cup in 1994, Nigeria would have been in the final of that World Cup if we went past Italy, but we couldn't finish. So the finishing has always been a problem. So it's not as if there was some kind of decline that was unmanageable. Because we always got close, and we always came home with a bronze, showing that we were there. But we couldn't just do that extra, or find that extra, or as they say, we couldn't close it up.
The World Cup appearance in 2010 was even more dismal. The Eagles returned, and fan favorite Samson Siasia was appointed manager of the team. It appeared to be a new dawn. The team began to play differently. Their games were exciting, free-flowing, and most importantly, goals were scored. For the first time in a long time, there was true optimism about the prospects of the team. Fans were already warming up for a glorious outing in the 2012 edition of the tournament.
Opponents any time on the ball. It's a nice bit of skill from Joel Obi. Still the chance is on. Uche! It's there, and Nigeria have taken the lead. Deflected over the goalkeeper. Ikechukwu Uche, the man with the strike. Samson Siasia.
And then it happened. For the first time since 1976, the Super Eagles failed to qualify for the tournament. Siasia, the people's choice, had failed the people.
I heard things like, I thought we had qualified. You know, I didn't know we had to score more goals and so on. It was strange. People did not even know the rules of the competition. A lot of things happened and we did not qualify. Yes, bet right, I don't know, but the least we can do is to be present at the Nations Cup.
There was disappointment, there was shock, and there was outrage.
Oh, it's a shame. You know that an FA chairman lost his seat because he said the Nations Cup was not our bet right. And some people said, what the hell, why are you saying? The Nations Cup we have taken as our own. If we can't qualify for Gabon and Equatorial Guinea, then we don't have any business managing, even identifying with the game.
The Super Eagles had hit the lowest of lows. Fingers were pointed, scapegoats were identified, blame was traded.
And history has it, records have it that we've always gotten to the semi-final stage. Yes, a lot of bronze by the set and everything, but let's just qualify, you know. The Nation Cup is going on in this continent, Nigeria is not there. Even CAF is not happy. You need the big boys at a party like that. You need Nigeria, you need Cote d'Ivoire, you need Egypt. Maybe let them not do it, but let them qualify. It raises the profile of the Nations Cup.
It was, as these things go, not pretty. While coach Samson Siasia was held mainly responsible, he in turn pointed the finger at certain players.
Because the coach couldn't qualify the team for the Nations Cup, a very big, an exciting and, as I would say, gifted coach who was still in the honeymoon of his job got sacked because he couldn't pick a team to the nation. And what did he want to do? He wanted to win in style.
I think everything degenerated. The team degenerated, the administration degenerated, and of course, the administration is a reflection of the team. Who was sacking the coaches? It was the administration. Okay? They didn't understand that you needed time, to build a good team. And then, of course, I think the Eagles started running into money problems as well. Okay? They didn't have the kind of support they had at the highest level of government. So many factors came together. But in spite of those factors, I'm saying that if we had solved the football problem, okay? Because look, challenges will always come with life, anything you do in life generally. But at the end of the day, it is the players that you put on the pitch that will do the business, in spite of whatever other problems you have, administration, money-wise, etc. Okay? So many African countries don't have the kind of bonuses that the Eagles pay, and some of them still win the Nations Cup. I know for Cameroon for sure, they don't pay as high as the Super Eagles pay.
18 years after the dizzying heights of Tunisia 1994, the Nigerian Super Eagles had hit rock bottom, and no one had any how, if ever, they would rise again. On the next episode of The Rise of the Eagles.
The regime of any football federation is hinged on the success of the national teams. You remember the Lulu administration? The one we came back from South Africa, the World Cup, he was gone. Even the chairman that he took to South Africa, took them there, all of them. When they came back, he didn't get one vote.
Even at my own time in Super Eagles, I don't think we ever played that good. I don't think so. We had a great team, but play the way the boys played against Cote d'Ivoire and South Africa, I'm not sure we did that.
Thanks to Akocha, his second goal of the tournament. And the moment that
Nigeria were beaten in the final in 1984, 88 and 90, but not this one. Nigeria are the new champions of Africa.